Hey there and welcome to another Fortnite action figure review. Today we are taking a look at the brand new squad mode set from Jazwares that contains 4 figures, 4 weapons, 4 building material, and it says 5 harvesting tools, but in reality this set of 2 is actually considered 1. Let's take a peek here at the back. Careful not to hit my mic. Here we've got the 4 characters, or the 4 skins on display. We got Prickly Patroller, which is just a cactus being a cactus. Elite Agent, failure is not an option. King Flamingo, some of us were born to fly. And Bigfoot, international man of mystery. Actually, on a side note, there's a really cool, awesome Bigfoot museum probably about 10 minutes from where I live. So anyway, here's the cross sale down here. We've got a lot of different characters: Midfield Maestro, Fallen Love Ranger, Bone Wasp, Tempest, Yonder, Ruin, 8-Ball, Ultima Knight. There's only about, 4 of those: 8-Ball, Ruin, Yonder, and Bone Wasp. Oh, and Fallen Love Ranger that we haven't talked about. We will talk about soon. But for now, let's get this out of the package and look at the toys. Here is the entire squad mode out of the package and laying out here in front of you before your eyes. And there's a lot of neat stuff here. I'm going to say let's jump right in and start taking a look at the individual items here. The set comes with the following weapons. First off is the minigun, the combat shotgun, the tactical shotgun, and a hunting rifle. We get 5 of these brand new grass building material figure stands. These are really cool. I'm really starting to enjoy these, and I hope more of these come out in the future. A building tips and tricks guide. Next, we'll take a look at the harvesting tools. We have the fork knife harvesting tools set. You want to be careful pulling probably this one out. My fork kind of bent just a little bit upon pulling it out of the package. The pink flamingo harvesting tool. This is really neat. It's got 2 bird heads, 2 flamingo heads up here with some nice orange and dark gradient coloring up here. And look at the little eyeballs. And it's got like this twine or this vine that's wrapping around down here to what looks like a shovel or a pick handle of sorts. This is a pretty cool little harvesting tool. The Revoker harvesting tool, this is actually not part of any of the figure sets here. This is part of the Bounty Hunter set, and it makes me wonder, could we get a Vega figure? And the Prickly Axe harvesting tool. Now you'd think this would actually go with her set, but it really doesn't. This is part of no set, of she's got no set. Maybe Epic needs to combine these 2 into a set someday. It's got a cool little, what looks like a spur down here at the bottom, and these nice little cactus pieces sticking up with a couple little white flowers on several of them. Now let's take a look at the figures themselves. We've got Bigfoot, King Flamingo, Elite Agent, and Prickly Patroller. These all look really like great, awesome figures, and I'm really excited. Flamingo and Prickly Patroller, I didn't even know I wanted an action figure form until I saw them on the shelf. Bigfoot, I had a feeling in the back of my mind that we were going to get a Bigfoot because we got Trog in the squad mode. So this kind of, I was waiting for this one. So let's take a look at Bigfoot first. Bigfoot is going to have similar articulation to Trog because it's the same body, just repainted. Brand new head, but everything else is the same. His head will kind of rotate left and right. It won't rotate all the way around simply because his beard is just too big. He doesn't really have looking up and down articulation because, again, his beard and his hair are just too long. His shoulders do rotate all the way around. They both do. And he bends at the elbows with that hinge. His wrists rotate around. Both of them do. And there's even the hinge inside, or in that wrist. Now you want to be careful, not really careful, but take note, there are some pieces sticking down that will hinder the wrist hinge motion. He's got a nice torso wiggle, and his waist will rotate all the way around, and mine didn't break. That's a good thing. He can do the splits, he can move his legs all over the place, he can run, he can jump, he can do ninja moves, and he's got the thigh rotation right there, and I rotated just too far. He's got a double pin, which is pretty common for all these types of figures. And we wrap it up with the ankle. His ankles will, or his feet will rotate around, but they won't hinge. There is a hinge inside of there. They won't hinge very well because, again, he's got some hindrance around his ankles in the form of the fur that's hiding his legs. All in all, Bigfoot's a really pretty cool figure. I like the look, and you could actually use this outside of the Fortnite figures as well. Maybe Bigfoot will one day invade the G.I. Joe base. Roar! Next we have King Flamingo, and this is quite the crazy, quite the out there figure. I could understand why G.I. Joe fans won't like this one. I probably would not be very pleased if this popped up in something like G.I. Joe, although we did have Raptor. Now, let's take a look. He's got this beak on his helmet. He's got a couple eyes up there on the top. He's got these, I'm guessing, vines wrapped around for backpack holders and just belts. This is a very, very pink dude. He's really, really pink, and he's quite happy about it too. It looks like this is a Jonesy face. I'm guessing this is based off the Jonesy skin in the game. His head will rotate all the way around. There's no hindrance. He can look up a little bit. This is semi-soft. It's kind of it's not super soft, but it is a little bit pliable. So he can look up, but he can't really look. Okay, he can look down better than I thought. He didn't work earlier like that. His arms will rotate all the way around, and he does have bendable, hingeable elbows. Mine are really tight on most of these figures, so bear with me here. They're really pretty tight. The wrists will, in fact, actually, so will the elbows. Look at that. The wrists will rotate all the way around, and there is a hinge to move the wrist or the hand back and forth. He's got a really nice torso wiggle. He can crunch it, and he can jive. He can do all those fancy things. His waist will also rotate around. These are a lot better than some of the early series figures where the waist you had to really grab onto to rotate. He can move his legs around. He can run. He can jump. He can. He's got the thigh rotation there and the double pin knee joint, which on mine is a little. Oh, that's why I didn't pay attention earlier. He won't be able to bend too far because there's a connection there, but they will bend pretty good. And finally, he's got the ankle rotation. There is no hindrance here. These are pretty standard looking ankle lower legs compared to a lot of the early figures, and the hinge works quite well. So there we got King Flamingo. He's a pretty strange and awesome dude. Now we come to Elite Agent. I really liked her look in the package, but once I got her out of the package, there was something I noticed that is disappointing, and that is her neck. She's got really cool camel gear. We'll get to the neck in a minute, but she's got this really cool look and outfit. She is actually part of the same set as Rogue Agent, so we've essentially got almost the entire set minus the glider. So she can share the back bling, which is the precision back bling. She can share that with Rogue Agent, and she can also share the tactical spade harvesting tool. We got the tactical spade harvesting tool with Rogue Agent, but if you happen to be lucky enough to get the UK squad mode set, then you'll get a tactical spade with high-rise assault trooper as well. So you could just kind of like, have her come over and take it away. Enough about them. Let's take a look at her. Her head does rotate all the way around. It's free moving. She can look down and she can look up, and this is where I've got a small problem with how she was made. When she's looking down, she looks like that. Maybe doesn't look as bad as it could be. When she looks up, she can do, well, that. And I don't know how many of you out there can do, well, that. Her head seems to sit just a little bit high on that ball. I don't know if the head wasn't hollowed out. I don't know if yours is the same way. But, yeah, she seems to be really up high on that. And she's got a massively long neck. Let's try not to exaggerate it more than necessary. But other than that, she's a pretty cool figure. Her shoulders or her arms will rotate all the way around without any problem. So will her elbows, and she can bend her elbows in pretty good. Put up your dukes. Her wrists will rotate. Her wrists will rotate. If you hold on to, they will rotate, but she's got such free-flowing elbows that it's difficult. And then she's got the standard hinge on the wrist as well. She's got the nice torso. She moves back quite well. Let's get her arms up here. She leans back quite well, but not forward as well. Her waist will rotate in theory. Mine won't. Mine's really difficult, and I think it has to do with possibly a factory error or a factory problem inside of mine. We're going to pop her top off here. And I don't know if you can look at that, but this is kind of warped and bent, and I think it might be a little melted, or I don't know. It's a very strange and odd shape, and so when she's hooked on, it's not free-flowing, but it will rotate around. And so I think there's a bit of a squeeze or a pinch in there, preventing the waist to rotate while the entire figure is put together. Her thighs will swivel, both of them will. She can do some splits, can she? Well, actually she can't. She can go up about that far, but otherwise she can move her legs around quite well. She's got the double pin knee, as we're used to. And finally, the ankles. They rotate and they hinge back and forth. They both do pretty good. She is a really cool figure. Unfortunately, I may have to pop the head off and see if it's just not a big enough hole or something for the ball joint in the neck. Otherwise, she'd be a really awesome figure. And finally, we come to Prickly Patroller. This is the one that caught my eye the most. Yes, I know King Flamingo kind of caught my eye, but she caught my eye the most. I've seen her in the item shop more often than him, and I've actually been tempted to get this skin. I really kind of like it. And so when I saw her, I was just like, oh my goodness, they put her out. I was shocked. This was awesome. She's got a lot of green. She's got a couple reused parts, like she's got her boots have been reused, and her lower left leg, maybe her lower right leg, I'm not sure. From Cuddle Team Leader, she's got her outfit. When you look back here, if you see the lines back here, very reminiscent of maybe like a cactus. Her head's pretty awesome. This is soft. This is not like a hard plastic. It doesn't come off. It's glued up here on the head, and from what I can tell by looking up through there, you probably don't want to take it off. There's really nothing up there to see. They didn't do any detailing on the head because, well, the game doesn't show any detailing. I was kind of hoping this might be a surprise like Battlehound where it came off, but alas, it doesn't. However, what's really cool is it does not hinder motion. You can rotate her head all the way around. And she can even look back. Look at that. It scrunches it up just a little bit, but she can look up. She can even look down, and, now she's doing some face mask covering, proper day and age. So, really, this is soft enough rubber, and that it doesn't really hinder anything. It's really cool. Her arms rotate all the way around, and her elbows rotate all the way around. Again, this one's a little stiff, but she can move her arms, and she actually has the best movement of all of them. She's almost 90 degrees. The others, nowhere near. Her wrists do rotate with a little bit of help, and they do hinge. You can hear those cracks, maybe. Maybe. She's got a pretty good torso. She can lean forward, she can lean back, she can wiggle all over. She can do some dance moves. And her waist rotates all the way. Well, that's unfortunate. Her waist, there we go. Wait a minute. Let's get her back. There, now she's normal. There, she's all lined up and perfect again. She can almost do the splits. The female figures seem to not do the splits more than the male figures, which is kind of interesting. But the legs do wiggle around and have a lot of free motion. Her thighs do rotate all the way around. And she's got the lovely expected double pin knee joint. We'll wrap her up with the rotatable ankle and the hinge at the ankle. The hinge does not, well, on the right foot, doesn't go as far. The left foot goes a little bit further. She's tough. She's tight. But anyway, I would have to say, and it's not because she's the last one here. I'm going to uncrack all of her joints so she can stand up again. I've got to say, this is probably my favorite figure out of all four of them. They've done really, really awesome with the Prickly Patroller and the King Flamingo figures. I really like this one, though. She wins out. She's about to become, she's about to land in my top. I used to have a top favorite 10. I may have to extend that to top 25. There are so many figures out. And here we've got them all decked out in their harvesting tools and the weapons that they come with. I don't know about you, but I don't want to meet any of them, especially all of them together in a dark alley one night. I think I would turn tail and run to get out of here. Anyway, this is the latest 2020 squad mode set from Jazwares. Thank you for stopping by and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this at all, please give me that thumbs up. It helps the channel and helps produce more videos. And if you want to be notified when more of these types of videos come out, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon and you will be notified. At least I hope you'll be notified. Stay tuned. More videos are coming. We actually do have a lot more brand new Fortnite stuff coming up. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you in the next video.